Hello everyone. Very good morning to all of you, my dear students. This is your Akash sir, and today we are going to start chapter number 8, Quadrilaterals. Yes, chapter number 8, Quadrilaterals is a chapter from geometry part. This is you have to do in your geometry book. And quadrilaterals is not a new word for you. You must have studied about quadrilaterals in your previous classes also. So here again in class 9, we are going to discuss about quadrilaterals. So let's start first with the definition. So what is the definition of quadrilaterals? So here it is written that if 3 points out of 4 are non-collinear, then a closed figure formed by joining these 4 points in order is called a quadrilateral. Alright, now let's break it down and understand it carefully. Here it is written that if 3 points, how many 3 points out of 4? If there are 4 points, okay, how many total 4 points on a plane, suppose on a page or any surface? If there are 4 points, and from that 4, 3 points are non-collinear. Now, what is non-collinear? Non-collinear means not in a same line. Let's understand first what is collinear points. Collinear points means when there are 3 points. Okay, suppose here we have 3 points like this: one, two, and three. Suppose the points are like this. Okay, if we join these 3 points, we get a straight line. If we get a straight line like this, a line passes from all these 3 points, okay, like this middle point is a little bit shifted. But if suppose there is a situation like this, that from these 3 points a single line is passing, then this is what called as collinear points. Okay, this is called as collinear points. But here we are going to understand about non-collinear points. Means that if there are 3 points out of 4 total and they are non-collinear. Now here is 2 points, and suppose the third one is here. Okay, where here is the third point. Now can you imagine that from these 3 points a single line can be passed? No, it is not possible. If we try to make a straight single line passing from all these 3 points, that is not going to be possible. Let's try it out. If I make a line like this is going from 2 points but cannot cover the third point which is present here. Okay, if I make a line like this, then that line will not pass from this point. And if I make a line like this, it is not going to pass from this point. So these 3 points will be called as what? These three are non-collinear points. What? Non-collinear points. So if there are first of all 4 points on a plane, and from that 4 points, if 3 points are non-collinear, okay, if 3 points are non-collinear, let's suppose 1, 2, 3, and suppose this is the fourth point. Okay, here we can see that from the 4, 3 points are non-collinear. Okay, and if we join the 4 points in order, a closed figure will be formed, and that is what called as a quadrilateral. So let's join these points. Suppose we start from here, and this is I'm joining the points. Okay, yes. So what I got here, this is a quadrilateral, because in this there are 4 points, and from that 4 points 3 points are non-collinear, and we joined the 4 points in order, and so we got what? A quadrilateral. So this is an example of quadrilateral. Then then it can be in any shape. It just have to follow this situation, that there will be 4 points, out of which 3 points will be non-collinear. Let's say one point is here, two is here, third is here, and fourth is here. So if we join these points again, one, 2, 3, and 4. If we join the 4 points, again what we got, this is also is a quadrilateral, because here there are 4 points total and 3 points are non-collinear, and we joined the points in order. We got what? We got a quadrilateral. So यही देखना है कि 4 पॉइंट्स में से 3 पॉइंट्स नॉन कोलिनियर होना चाहिए, और जब वो 4 पॉइंट्स को हम ऑर्डर वाइज ज्वाइन करेंगे तो हमें एक क्वाड्रिलेटरल मिलेगा. Okay, so this is what the definition of quadrilateral is. So write down this all these points along with me. Now we'll see about the parts of a quadrilateral. Okay, now here is a general quadrilateral I have made. Okay, here we can see these 4 points are here: A, B, C, and D, and we have joined these 4 points in order. So here we got what? A quadrilateral. Now, what are the parts of a quadrilateral? So first is a quadrilateral have four sides. Okay, it have four sides. Here the sides are this AB1, this is BC, this CD, and this AD. These are called what? Sides. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The four sides here is written. Okay. Then it has four vertices. Now what is vertices? Vertices means the corner points. Okay. If it is a single, it is written as vertex. But if it is more than two, that is in plural, it is written as vertices. So the four vertices are A, B, C, and D. Okay. The name of the four vertices are A, B, C, and D. Then it have four angles, right? This is what called as an angle here. So here there are total four angles are formed. So here that is angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. Okay, four angles. And then the last part is, that is the diagonals. What is the diagonals? Diagonals means when we join the opposite vertices with each other, we get diagonals. Opposite vertices. Now let's see here. If A is a vertex, its opposite vertex is C. So let's join A and C. Here what we got is, it is called as a diagonal. And similarly, D and B, if we join these two, we are going to get a diagonal. So a quadrilateral have two diagonals. Okay, when we join the two opposite vertices with each other, we get diagonals. Total there are two diagonals. In this case, AC and BD. So these are what all the parts of a quadrilateral. Okay, repeating once again: four sides AB, BC, CD, and AD. Four vertices A, B, C, and D. Four angles: angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, and two diagonals AC and BD. All right, these are the parts of a quadrilateral. So where do we see quadrilateral in our daily life? So many things in our surroundings is in the shape of a quadrilateral. Now a quadrilateral is also of different types. It just have to follow the definition that we read before. So here we can see a chessboard. We can see it is having four sides, four angles. It is a quadrilateral. A card, quadrilateral. Kite is also in quadrilateral, because we can see there are four sides here. And here the signboard is also a quadrilateral. Your phone, in which you are watching the video right now, is also in the shape of quadrilateral, the top part. Okay, the screen is a quadrilateral. The book is a quadrilateral. Okay, so many different things are there which are in the shape of quadrilateral. Now here is a property of quadrilateral, and that is called as the angle sum property. What is angle sum property? Now, angle sum property we have seen about a triangle, and you know that for a triangle, the sum of the angle is equal to, all the three angles is equal to 180 degree. So here for a quadrilateral, similarly, the sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is how much? It is 360 degree. Here is a quadrilateral ABCD, and we know it has four sides. Okay, it can be of any type, not necessarily a rectangle. It can be a square, it can be a kite shape, or any irregular shape, any quadrilateral, if we add the four angles, here are the four angles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, if we add them both, that is, if we write angle A, okay, write down this along with me, angle B plus angle C plus angle D. The total of this, it is going to be equal to 360 degree. Okay, so this is what it is written in statement form, and here we wrote it in the into the numerical form. Okay, so this is what called as an angle sum property. The sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 360 degree. Okay, this will be useful while solving the sum. So remember these points. Okay, so till now we saw the definition of quadrilateral, then we saw the parts of a quadrilateral, then quadrilateral in our surrounding, and we saw angles and property. Now let's explore about types of quadrilaterals, the different types of quadrilaterals. What are their names and what are their conditions? So we'll start with the first type of quadrilateral, and that is trapezium. Okay, trapezium. Now what is the trapezium? Let's understand. Let's look at this figure carefully. Here is a quadrilateral, A, B, C, and D. Yes, it is a quadrilateral. What is special in this quadrilateral that it is given the name trapezium? So here the condition is written that one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Here AB is parallel to DC. So in a quadrilateral, if if at least one pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other, four sides may say opposite sides, pair of opposites means here AB and DC are opposite sides. They are opposite to each other. Similarly, AD and BC are opposite to each other. So total दो पैर में से एटलीस्ट एक पैर आपस में पैरेलल हो, तो वैसा उससे जो क्वाड्रिलेटरल बनेगा that will be called as what? A trapezium. Here in this quadrilateral we can see that this AB is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC. So what we will call this? It is a trapezium. Okay, here AB is parallel to DC. Okay, then this is a trapezium. Now second is parallelogram. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. In this case, जैसे यहाँ पर एक पैर, एटलीस्ट एक पैर अगर अब पैरेलल हुए आपस में, तो दैट इज अ ट्रेपेजियम. मगर अगर दोनों के दोनों पैर यहाँ पे इस क्वाड्रिलेटरल में पी क्यू एस आर अपोजिट है एंड दे आर पैरेलल टू ईच अदर, वी कैन सी क्लियरली. ओके, एंड here, another pair of opposite sides are PS and QR. Again, this PS and QR are opposite to each other and they are also parallel. So this is what? This is a parallelogram. Okay. दोनों में difference क्या है? ट्रेपेजियम में एटलीस्ट एक पैर पैरेलल हो, तो दैट इज ए ट्रेपेजियम. पैरेललोग्राम में दोनों के दोनों अपोजिट साइड्स आपस में पैरेलल होने चाहिए. So that is what a parallelogram is. Now third is a rectangle. Rectangle is what? Pair of opposite sides are of equal length. Each angle is right angle. It is also a parallelogram. So here the first point is that pair of opposite sides, जो opposite sides होंगे, they will be equal to each other. Opposite sides means here this MN and SR, they are opposite to each other and they will be equal to each other. That is, we can write here MN is equal to SR, and also the opposite pair of this side, that is MS and NR, and MS is equals to NR, like this. Okay, so this is what the pair of opposite sides are of equal length. Then each angle is right angle, that is this angle M, angle N, angle R, angle S. All these are right angle, and it is also a parallelogram. Yes, rectangle is a special case of parallelogram. Okay, बिकॉज वी सॉ व्हाट इज पैरेललोग्राम कि अपोजिट दोनों पैर ऑफ अपोजिट एंगल साइड्स जो है वो आपस में पैरेलल हो गए. तो यहाँ पे भी हम देख सकते हैं कि एम एन एस आर अपोजिट साइड्स है एक pair of opposite sides and they are parallel to each other. Similarly, MS and NR is also parallel to each other. So this is also a parallelogram only. But अगर parallelogram में जब चारों के चारों एंगल 90 डिग्री हो और pair of opposite sides की लेंथ भी इक्वल हो तो उसे हम रेक्टेंगल कहेंगे. Okay. So the fourth type is now, understand all these points very carefully, okay, and note it down in your notebook. Rhombus. Now, what is a rhombus? That all sides are of equal length. All the sides here we saw in rectangle, opposite sides are only equal, but in rhombus, all the four sides here, this DE, EF, FG, and GD. All these four sides are equal to each other. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These four are equal to each other, and it is also a parallelogram. It is also a parallelogram because opposite sides, pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. So ये भी एक parallelogram का ही type है. ठीक है. Then fifth is square. Square, it has all sides are of equal length. जैसे rhombus में था वैसे ही यहाँ पर भी सभी के सभी sides की length equal होगी. मगर यहाँ पर एक special case है कि सारे के सारे angle right angles होंगे. Angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. All the four angles are right angles. Okay, A, B, C and D. This is the special case, and it is also a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel to each other, and all the angles are right angle, angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D, and four sides are equal to each other. Then the last type of quadrilateral is kite. Two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. Adjacent मतलब opposite नहीं, बाजू वाला side. अगर दो sides जो adjacent है एक दूसरे से, वो दोनों की length equal हो, जैसे कि यहाँ पे ये AD and DC, they are adjacent to each other. They are sharing a common vertex. They are adjacent to each other. And if their AD is equal to this CD, AD and CD are equal. And similarly, this AB and CB, AB and CB is equal. So this is what this is called as a kite. This is called a kite. इसे हम kite कहेंगे. और ये parallelogram नहीं है because opposite sides देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे ये AD और ये जो BC है वो आपस में parallel नहीं है. एंड सिमिलरली ये DC और AB आपस में पैरेलल नहीं है. सो ये पैरेललोग्राम नहीं है, बट इसके पहले जो भी हमने देखा स्क्वायर, रोम्बस, रेक्टेंगल, ये सभी के सभी पैरेललोग्राम के टाइप है. ओके, एक बार वापस रिवाइज करके देख लो अगर नहीं समझ में आया सारे पॉइंट्स. नाउ टू रिमेंबर, व्हाट वी हैव टू रिमेंबर हियर इज a square is a rectangle and also a rhombus. Square, if you draw a square, square जो है it is a rectangle and it is also a rhombus. How? Here is a square. It is a rectangle, it is written. Rectangle के लिए condition क्या है? Rectangle के लिए condition ये है कि opposite sides जो होंगे, pair of opposite sides, उनकी length equal होगी. So क्या square में भी ये situation follow हो रहा है? If you see, AB and DC both are equal to each other, है कि नहीं? जिस rectangle में होना चाहिए वैसे यहाँ पर AB and DC, these are opposite sides and they are equal, we know. Similarly, AD and BC are also equal to each other. All the four angles are right angle. इतना ही कंडीशन है ना रेक्टेंगल के लिए. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस स्क्वायर भी एक रेक्टेंगल है. ओके, स्क्वायर इज रेक्टेंगल एंड इट इज ऑल्सो ए रोम्बस. रोम्बस में क्या होता है? ऑल द फोर साइड्स आर इक्वल. यहाँ पे भी स्क्वायर में ऑल फोर साइड्स आर इक्वल है और दिस इज ए पैरेललोग्राम ऑल्सो. सो एक स्क्वायर, square is also a rectangle, square is also a rectangle and also a rhombus. Because why? Because it follows the condition of rectangle. Rectangle का जो condition होता है कि opposite sides, pair of opposite sides are equal, वो follow होता है. और rhombus में भी all the four sides are equal, वो भी यहाँ पे follow हो रहा है. So it is also called as a rectangle and a rhombus. Then a parallelogram is a trapezium. Parallelogram, देखो हमने यहाँ पे देखा था पैरेललोग्राम, ये एक ट्रेपेजियम भी है. व्हाई? बिकॉज ट्रेपेजियम में क्या कंडीशन है कि वन पेयर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स आर पैरेलल, एटलीस्ट एक पेयर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स पैरेलल होते हैं। एक से ज्यादा भी हो गए तो भी चलेगा। यहाँ पर भी, यहाँ पर दो साइड्स, दोनों साइड्स जो है पेयर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स पैरेलल है आपस में, एक साइड नहीं। तो ये ट्रेपेजियम कहेगी, एटलीस्ट वन हो ना। जैसे कि यहाँ पे एक भी है तो भी ट्रेपेजियम, अगर दो भी हो, दोनों पैर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स, यहाँ पे पी क्यू एस आर के पैरेलल है, पी एस क्यू आर के पैरेलल है, तो दैट इज व्हाई पैरेललोग्राम इज ए ट्रेपेजियम। ओके, कंडीशन फॉलो हो रहा है। देन ए काइट इज नॉट ए पैरेललोग्राम, ये तो हमने देखा। ट्रेपेजियम इज नॉट ए पैरेललोग्राम। ट्रेपेजियम देखो यहाँ पे ट्रेपेजियम, इसको हम पैरेललोग्राम नहीं कहेंगे, बिकॉज इन पैरेललोग्राम बोथ पैर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स मस्ट बी पैरेलल टू ईच अदर। यहाँ पे ए बी डी सी से पैरेलल है, मगर ए डी और बी सी पैरेलल नहीं है। सो एक ट्रेपेजियम को हम पैरेललोग्राम नहीं कह सकते, मगर पैरेललोग्राम को हम ट्रेपेजियम कह सकते हैं। रेक्टेंगल और रोम्बस इज नॉट ए स्क्वायर। रेक्टेंगल की बात करें या रोम्बस की बात करें, उसे हम स्क्वायर नहीं कह सकते, बिकॉज रेक्टेंगल में सारे के सारे, चारों के चारों साइड्स इक्वल नहीं होती, जो स्क्वायर में होना चाहिए, राइट। ऑल द फोर साइड्स आर नॉट इक्वल, सो इट इज नॉट ए स्क्वायर। एंड रोम्बस में सभी के सभी फोर साइड्स इक्वल है, मगर ये जो एंगल्स है वो 90 डिग्री नहीं होते। ओके, एंगल्स आर नॉट 90 डिग्री, सो इट इज नॉट ए स्क्वायर। Okay, rectangle and rhombus is not a square, but a square is a rectangle and rhombus. So ये आपको properties जो है quadrilateral की याद रखना। Okay, so now the next topic is theorem 8.1. Now we are going to do theorem 8.1, which is very important in this chapter, because this is the only theorem which we have to do with proof. So let's do it. So the theorem says that a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. If there is a parallelogram, here is the parallelogram A, B, C, and D. Okay, and here is one diagonal AC, and this diagonal divides this parallelogram into two triangles. How many? Two congruent triangles. These two triangles, and these two triangles are congruent to each other. That is what we have to prove. So we'll write here that to prove is to prove is just understand my handwriting. I can't write so precisely over here, but I will try. Triangle A B C is congruent to triangle C D A. Okay, C D A. This is what we have to prove. These two triangles are congruent to each other. So to prove this, we'll do some construction, and that is we will have to make the diagonal. So we'll write here, or let it be, we'll not write the construction step here. We'll start directly from proof. So proof, and in this only we'll write let A B C D be the parallelogram and AC be the diagonal. AC be the diagonal. Okay, what we wrote, that we have ABCD a parallelogram and AC be the diagonal. Okay, now let's prove it. So I'm writing here that in this both the triangles that we have to prove, A B C and triangle C D A. Okay, in these two triangles we can see that this BC and AD, BC and AD are parallel to each other, and AC is called as the transversal because it is passing from both these parallel lines. So we can write, we'll write here BC BC is parallel to AD and AC is transversal. Okay, look here again. Here in this case, these two pair of opposite sides AD and BC are parallel to each other, and AC is what called as a transversal. So here what the angles are forming is, look at here, this angle, this angle, and this angle. They form the alternate angles, pair of alternate angles. Okay, so if these two lines are parallel to each other, so they must be equal. Okay, chapter number 6, we have seen these two angles must be equal to each other. So we can write this angle, that is angle BCA, and this angle DAC. Okay, again look here, BCA, and here this angle DAC. These are pair of alternate angles and they must be equal. So we are writing here angle BCA is equals to angle DAC. Here we'll state the reason in bracket, that is because they are pair of alternate angles. Okay. Now similarly, again in this figure we can see that as we saw AD is parallel to BC and AC is transversal. Now we will say this thing here, DC and AB. DC and AB are parallel to each other, and AC is what? AC is transversal. So coming to here again, similarly we can write AB is parallel to DC and AC is transversal. Okay, AB is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC and AC is transversal. So here again, if we see these two angles, which two angles? Here, this one and this one. Okay, this angle, that is DCA and BAC. These two must be equal. This forming pair of alternate angles. So we can write angle BAC and DCA are equal. Angle BAC is equals to angle DCA. Again, the same reason we'll write pair of alternate angles. Okay. Now here we wrote that two angles of the two triangles are equal to each other. Now after that we can see that in these two triangles we made your proof that two angles are equal to each other. This angle red one, this red two angles are equal to each other, and this green are equal to each other. Now we can see that both these triangles, that is triangle ABC and triangle CDA, are sharing a common side, that is the diagonal of this triangle, that is quadrilateral, that is AC is common in both. AC is common in both, so we can write that and AC is equals to CA, which is common in both the triangles. Common, okay, common in both the triangles. Now, after this, that means we wrote here that triangles के तीन corresponding parts equal है. So therefore, we can write therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA, and this is by which rule? हमने दो angles equal बताए, ये दो angles, ये दो pair of angles, that is BCA equal to DAC, here BAC is equal to DCA, two angles, and वो दोनों के बीच का side equal बताया. So that is by angle side angle rule के according these two are equal to each other, and that's it. यहाँ पर ये जो हमें प्रूफ करना था वो प्रूफ हो गया कि दो ट्राइंगल्स कॉन्ग्रुएंट है एक दूसरे से. So here is the proof is done. So very simple, it is very small, it is very short, just you have to understand it and you have to write it. So this was what theorem 8.1 was. The theorem with proof. Now remaining there are 9 theorems to be done, but we don't have to prove those theorems, we just have to understand it. So let's understand it quickly. So theorem 8.2 says that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. If there is a parallelogram, हमने ये पढ़ा है कि अपोजिट साइड्स कैसे होते हैं, एक दूसरे से पैरेलल होते हैं ना, बट उसी के साथ साथ दे आर ऑल्सो इक्वल टू ईच अदर. यहाँ पे मतलब पी क्यू एस आर के पैरेलल है, पी एस क्यू आर के पैरेलल है, मगर दे आर ऑल्सो इक्वल टू ईच अदर. पी क्यू एंड एस आर इक्वल टू ईच अदर एंड पी एस क्यू आर इक्वल टू ईच अदर. Okay, this is theorem 8.2 is. Theorem 8.3 is that if each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram. ये इसी का कन्वर्स है. मतलब क्या कि if we are having a quadrilateral and जिसमें पैर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स इक्वल हो एक दूसरे से, मतलब कि हमें नहीं पता कि ये पैरेललोग्राम है, मगर वी फाइंड दैट कि ये पी क्यू एस आर अपोजिट साइड से एंड वो दोनों इक्वल है आपस में. सिमिलरली पी एस एंड क्यू आर ऑल्सो इक्वल टू ईच अदर. अगर ऐसा सिचुएशन हो तो उस क्वाड्रिलेटरल को हम क्या कहेंगे? पैरेललोग्राम कहेंगे. ओके, दिस इज ए पैरेललोग्राम देन. So 8.2 and 8.3 are converse of each other. Now we'll go for theorem 8.4 and says that in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. जैसे कि यहाँ पर ये parallelogram है, इसमें जो opposite angles है, that is angle P और ये angle R, ये दोनों opposite angles, right? These two are opposite to each other. So ये दोनों एंगल्स कैसे हो गए? आपस में सेम हो गए. एंगल P इज इक्वल टू एंगल R होगा एंड सिमिलरली एंगल S और एंगल Q, एंगल S इज इक्वल टू एंगल Q होगा. दिस इज व्हाट इन ए पैरेललोग्राम. एंड सिमिलरली 8.5 सी का कन्वर्स है, आपस में पैर पैर ही है यहाँ पे कि इफ इन ए क्वाड्रिलेटरल ईच पैर ऑफ अपोजिट एंगल्स आर इक्वल देन इट इज ए पैरेललोग्राम. कि अगर हमारे पास ऐसा एक क्वाड्रिलेटरल हो जिसमें पैर ऑफ अपोजिट साइड्स की वैल्यू इक्वल हो, एंगल P एंगल Q के इक्वल हो एंड एंगल S एंगल एंगल P एंगल R के इक्वल हो एंड एंगल S एंगल Q के इक्वल हो, सो वो जो क्वाड्रिलेटरल होगा वो एक पैरेललोग्राम होगा. ओके, 8.4 का कन्वर्स है ये. ओके, theorem 8.6 says that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. इन ए पैरेललोग्राम जो दो डायगोनल्स होते हैं वो आपस में एक दूसरे को बाइसेक्ट करते हैं. बाइसेक्ट करते हैं मतलब दो इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करते हैं. ओके, हियर द टू डायगोनल्स आर AC एंड BD. हियर दिस डायगोनल्स AC, ये जो डायगोनल AC है वो BD को दो इक्वल पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दे रहा है. यहाँ पे ये BD जो है BO और DO दो पार्ट में डिवाइड हो चुका है. ओके, दिस इज द वन पार्ट, दिस इज द सेकंड पार्ट एंड दिस टू पार्ट्स आर इक्वल टू ईच अदर. और ये किसने बाइसेक्ट किया है? इस डायगोनल AC ने. सिमिलरली ये डायगोनल जो BD है, BD ने AC को दो पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया है. ओके, वन पार्ट इज हियर एंड द सेकंड पार्ट इज हियर एंड ये दोनों पार्ट यहाँ से A to O एंड O to C आर इक्वल. और ये किसने दो इक्वल पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है? ये डायगोनल BD ने. सो डायगोनल्स ऑफ ए पैरेललोग्राम बाइसेक्ट ईच अदर, दोनों आपस में एक दूसरे को बाइसेक्ट करते हैं. एंड थियरम 8.7 अगेन उसी का कन्वर्स है कि अगर इफ द डायगोनल्स ऑफ ए क्वाड्रिलेटरल बाइसेक्ट ईच अदर, एक दूसरे को बाइसेक्ट करते हो किसी भी क्वाड्रिलेटरल में द डायगोनल्स, तो वो एक पैरेललोग्राम होगा. ओके,